We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
This is part 2 of network theorem topic of subject basic electrical engineering. So in last lecture we had studied Kirchhoff's law, first law and second law, and we had understood that how to write equations for KVL. Now today we will be analyzing these simple circuits and solve the numericals based on the topic which we had understood, that is KCL and KVL. So consider this first question, that is a resistor of 12 ohm is connected in series with a combination of 15 ohm and 20 ohm in parallel, and when a voltage of 120 volt is applied across the whole circuit, find the current taken from the supply. So before seeing the actual solution, let us try by ourselves that there is a 12 ohm resistance which is connected in series with 15 ohm and 20 ohm in parallel. So we are following the sentence which is given, and it is connected to a source of 120 volts. Okay, this is applied. So this is 12, this is 15, and this is 20. And you are said that find the current taken from the supply. So you have to find the current taken. Okay, so you have to find this I. So this is the circuit which you need to find. Okay, so now you can try by yourself also by pausing and trying to solve the equation by yourself. So let us begin this numerical. So this is the solution. So 120 volt is connected in series with 12 ohms, and it is connected in parallel with 15 ohm and 20 ohm. So what will happen? This 15 ohm and 20 ohm are in parallel, so equivalent will be 300 by 35. So it is got by the equation 1 upon R equivalent, that is equals to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So if you solve this, eventually you will end with R equivalent will be equals to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay. So this is the equation which is followed every time for parallel circuits. So those two resistances, if they are connected in parallel, then their equivalent resistance which is replaced will be equals to product of the resistances divided by the summation of the resistance. Okay, so here I have done the same thing. Then now this 12 ohm is connected in series with 300 by 35 ohms. So now in series resistance we know that it is addition of this resistance. So I have written here it is addition of 12 plus 300 by 35, so you will get 720 by 35 ohms. Now you need to find this current I. So I is V by R, so it is just Ohm's law. So I is V by R, so if you do it, so it will be 5.83 ampere. So this was a very simple circuit. I hope that there would be no doubt in this type of numericals. Next numerical, a network, it is shown here where you need to find a current through 10 ohm resistor. So you need to find a current through this 10 ohm resistor and the voltage drop across 8 ohms. So you need to find this voltage across. So this is some unknown voltage Vx and this is some unknown current Ix. Okay. So you need to find these two quantities in this numerical, and you are not given any boundary condition that you need to solve by this so and so method. So you can use any method. Okay. So let us start to approach this numerical. So first we will see here. So I have considered nodal analysis. So nodal analysis is nothing but a use of concept of KCL. So we are giving this node as V1. Okay. We are giving this node as V1 and this node as V2. Okay. Now we will write KCL equations at each node. Okay. So to write KCL equation at each node, so one important thing which you should know, the node which we consider would be of higher polarity, that method I will use. So suppose I am considering node V1, so I will write the equation as V1 minus 4. Okay, so V1 minus 4 divided by this resistance, that is 5 ohms. Then I will consider this one, so it will be plus V1 divided by 15 ohms. Okay. Similarly, this, so V1 minus V2 divided by 10. Okay, 10. I will have to erase this part. So removing this part. Okay. So this would be the equation, and this whole thing will be equals to 0. Yes or no? So this will be equals to 0. So this is nothing but KCL, summation of all currents which are incoming or outgoing will be equals to 0. Okay. So suppose this is in this way, this is this way, and this is this way. So these equations can be written in this form. Okay. So I have this is nothing but a current representation. V by R, V by R, V by R. It means addition of currents. Their addition will be equals to 0. Okay. So let us see the numerical. So at node A, so giving this as node A and this is as node B, and this is the voltage that is V1 and this is the voltage that will be V2. So at node A, what will happen? V1 minus 4 divided by 5 plus V1 by 15 plus V1 minus V2 by 10, that will be equals to 0. So if you solve this, you need to take LCM and you will be getting this equation, and further solving this you will get 11 V1. Okay, so it will be 6 plus this 2 8 and plus this 3, so 11 V1 minus 3 V2 will be equals to 24. So this equation will be first equation. Okay. Similarly at node B, so we will take this as reference. So this reference node will be the highest value of node. So V2 will be V2 minus V1. So now when we consider node V2, so it will be of higher polarity. So V2 minus V1 divided by 10, V2 by 8 and plus V2 minus 6 by 12. So this will be equals to 0. So if you take the LCM, you will get this second equation. Okay. Now what to do after getting these two equations? You know that there are two unknown variables and you have two equations. So now you can find both V1 and V2. Okay. So I have taken the elimination method. So I have just multiplied. So I need to eliminate V1. So what I will do, I will multiply here with 11 and in the numerator, in the upper equation I will multiply it by 12, such that I will get both the values as same for V1, so they will cancel out each other. Okay, and so we will be left with V2. So V2 comes out to be 2.55 volts. Now from this V2, now we can get the value of V1. So to get the value of V1, I have considered this equation. Okay, this equation. So what will be V1? So V1 will be 24. This minus 3V2 goes on that side, so it will be 24 plus 3V2 divided by 11. So I will get V1 to be 2.81 volts. Now we need to find current through 10 ohm resistor. So current through this 10 ohm resistor will be polar. So first we will need to see the which magnitude is more, V1 or V2. So V1 is 2.81 and V2 is 2.55. So it means V1 is of higher polarity. So current will be flowing from higher potential to lower potential. So it will be, so let us assume the direction from higher potential to lower potential. So when we consider this, it is for sure that we will be getting the positive answer. Okay. So V1 minus V2 by 10 will give me 0.032 amps. Okay, ampere. So we have found the current. Now we need to find the voltage across 8 ohms. So voltage across 8 ohms is nothing but the voltage V2 itself, and we have found the value of V2, that comes out to be 2.55. So voltage across 8 ohms will be 2.55. So I hope that this numerical is clear. The previous numerical was very simple example. Over here we have used node analysis. Now next equation, next circuit, you can see we need to find three unknown values. First is this current I. Okay. Second is voltage across 5 ohm resistance. So we need to find voltage across this 5 ohms resistance. and second is power loss in 18 ohms. So we need to find the power loss in this 18 ohm resistance. So we need to find current also in this 18 ohms. So let us begin. So I have marked the unknown quantities by red color over here. Okay, so let us begin. So over here we can see that 5 ohms and 9 ohms, they are connected in series. Yes or no? These two are connected in series. So 9 plus 5 will be 14. Okay, and this 14 when comes in parallel with this 14, then what will happen? So if you redraw this circuit, so it will be this 5 9 plus 5 will be 14, and this 14 and 14 when they come in parallel, they will be 7. Okay, 7 ohms will be left, and that 7 ohms. So over here you can see this 14 ohm and this 14 ohm, they are in parallel. Okay, so it will be 7 ohms. Okay. 14 ohm and 14 ohm will be parallel, so it will be 7 ohm. Equivalent of these two will be replaced by 1, that will be 7 ohms. So you can recall the formula was product of two resistances divided by addition of two resistances. So if you find the answer, it comes out to be 7 ohms. So remember one trick, if you have two resistances which are of same values, then the parallel equivalent will be the exactly half of the actual resistance. Okay, so this is a trick. Now, once you have found this, now 11 ohm and 7 ohm are in series, so equivalent will be 18. So you will come to this equation. Okay. So the method will be in this path. So now from here to here, and from here to here, and then here to here. Okay. So 18 ohm is now connected in parallel with 18. So again, I had mentioned you earlier that if two equal resistances are connected in parallel, then their parallel equivalent will be exactly the half of this resistance, or either this, any of the two resistance, whatever, because they are of same value, the actual value will be half. So you will get equivalent to be 9 ohms. So over here you can see now from here to here. So now it is now 9 ohms. This 9 ohm is now connected in series with 13 ohm. So equivalent comes out to be 22. That 22 will be in parallel with 22. Okay, so over here this is 1 ohm. Okay, so that will, this 22 will be in parallel with 22, giving us 11 ohms. This 11 ohm is in series with 1 ohm, so you will get 12 ohms, that will be equivalent. And you need to find this current. Okay, you need to find this current, so that is kept untouched. Other all equivalents were found, but this much part was kept untouched. If you see any circuit which I have solved in this case, that much part was left untouched. So this is the another thing we should remember. Whenever you solve a circuit, if you are told to find the current through a certain element or voltage across a certain element, you should not touch that part and instead solve for the other portion which is given in the circuit. Okay, so finally you will be left with this very simple circuit. Okay, you will be left with 11 ohm and 1 ohm, that will be in series, that will be 12 ohms, and you have a 24 volt source. So current will be V by R by Ohm's law. So 24 divided by 12 will give us current, that is 2 ampere. So we have found this current I. Okay, we have found this current I. Now we have to find the voltage across 5 ohm resistance. Okay. So now we will go for the voltage across 5 ohm resistance. So let us begin. So this was the circuit. I have opened this circuit now, okay, in a more depth. So if you see this original circuit, so what we can do is that this 5 ohm and 9 ohm can be, so this part is common, okay, this part is common. So what I have done, if you see in this circuit, then that 14 ohm, instead of 5 and 9, they are connected now in this way. So you can say that this 14 ohm can be connected over here also. Okay, this connection can be brought over here, and this connection can be brought over here, making this as a in this pattern. Okay, it was just to virtually to confuse your eyes. Okay, it was actually in this pattern. So now we have found this current, that is 2 ampere. Okay, now if you see, actually this 22 ohms, there was parallel combination of another 22 ohms. It means now this is another trick, that if you have this type of source, okay, 24 volts, okay, and you have two resistors that were connected in parallel. Yes or no? If you remember the last, before solving this 2 ampere, the circuit looked like this. This was 22 and this was also 22, and over here you have 1 ohm in series. Okay, so you know that this is 2 ampere. Now this is another trick. Whenever you have two resistances which are connected in parallel, always the current will divide in half. Okay, so it will be 1 ohm, 1 ampere, and this will also be 1 ampere. Okay, so that's why I have written here, over here 1 ampere will go and over here 1 ampere will go. Now if you further solve, you remember that this 22 ohms, how did it came? Actually this came from this 13 ohms and 9 ohms. So that 9 ohm came from this 18 ohms which was connected in parallel. Yes or no? So it means that now if you remember, this 22 ohms is broken into two parts, that is of 13 ohms and two resistances of 18 ohms. Okay, so this 18 ohm and this is also of 18 ohm and this is of 13 ohm. So addition of these two, so this 13 ohms, this parallel of 18 ohm will be 9 ohm. So 13 plus 9 is 22. So now if you redraw this circuit, so what will happen? So this, you will get this 118 ohm which was already present, and the other 18 ohm is divided into two parts, that is first is 11 which was already given in the circuit, and the other is 7 ohms. So that 7 ohm was got from two 14 ohms which were connected. Okay. Remember this 14 ohm we got from this 9 and 5. So this is reverse process which we have solved. Okay, we solved from here and we approached till here. Now we have to go from here and till here. Why did I do this? So there is some reason, because all the parts current is getting exactly half. So you don't need to find the circuit by solving KVL equations or KCL circuit. Okay, because all the resistances are exactly equal. So you can say that current will always divide in half. So here 1 ampere, so this 1 ampere further goes and this divided into two parts, 0.5, 0.5. This further goes and this divided into two parts, that is 0.25, 0.25. Now we were asked two things. First is voltage across this 5 ohms and second is power loss in this 18 ohm resistor. Okay. So we know that what is the voltage across this 5 ohms. So voltage across this 5 ohms will be current which is flowing through this 5 ohms multiplied by the resistance. So current which is flowing will be 0.25 and the resistance is 5 ohms. So voltage is very simple, 0.25 will be multiplied with 5 and you will be getting 1.25. Similarly, what will be the power loss in this 18 ohm? So it will be current which is flowing in this 18 ohm resistance square multiplied with resistance. So you will get 4.5 watt. Okay. So I hope this method of approach is understood. Okay. Otherwise, if you have problem in solving this type of circuit, you can go for very simple method, that is KVL. Okay. So let us go to the next numerical, that is using nodal analysis determine the voltage across 5 ohm resistance and current in 12 volt source. So over here you need to find voltage across this 5 ohm resistance and the current in 12 volt source. Okay, so you need to find over here current and the voltage across this 5 ohms. Okay, so let us start. So this is the equation and I have colored the elements which are to be found with red color. Okay, so we can redraw this circuit. So now we have to study new topic, new concept actually, that is very useful, that is called as source transformation. Okay, so what is source transformation? So source transformation is a method in which if a current source is connected in parallel with a resistance, then you can make a equivalent voltage source that would be in series with the resistance. Okay, but what will be the case? The voltage source which is equivalent of that current source would be V will be equals to I into R. Okay, so which means that voltage source value will be product of these two, 9 and 4. So that will be 36 and the resistance is kept as it is. Okay. So this is the conversion, and the same way vice versa is also possible. If you have a voltage source that is connected in series with resistance, then the equivalent current source would be I will be equals to V by R. Okay, so it will be 36 by 4, that you will get 9 ampere, and this resistance that was connected in series will get in parallel. Okay. Now other thing which you should remember while source transformation is the direction of this current. Okay, so direction of current is from left to right. The same should be maintained in this voltage source also. Okay, so current in this will be flowing in this way. So direction is maintained constant, and you need to solve this circuit now. Okay, so now it is simple. Now you can solve this very easily. So let me erase. So now you have three nodes. Okay. So first is this V1, second is this V2, and third is V3. So you have to now write equations for each nodes. Okay. So let us solve. So at node 1, what will be the case? So it will be V1 minus V2 by 2. So you can go back and watch this video and draw the circuit by yourself and try to solve this equation first by yourself, and then you can solve by seeing this video if you face any issue. So it will be V1 minus V2 by 2 plus V1 minus 12 by 4 plus V1 plus 36 minus V3. So this case you should understand. So how I have written? So it is V1 minus this V2 divided by 2 plus V1 minus this 12 minus term of 12 volts divided by 4, then plus V1 plus 36 minus V3 divided by 4. So this will be the three terms which are related with V1. Similarly for node V2 you can write it will be V2 minus V1 divided by 2 plus V2 divided by 100 plus V2 minus V3 by 5, that will be equals to 0. So you can check here. Okay, and then you can solve this by taking LCM. You will get these three equations: first equation, second equation, and this will be the third equation. Now you need to find V1, V2 and V3. So there is a simple method that is called as Cramer's theorem. Okay. So by what is Cramer's theorem? So it says that you need to find first the determinant of the circuit. So first you need to convert these equations. Okay, you need to convert equation into matrix form. Okay, you need to convert equation into matrix form. So see here, I have taken all the V1, V2, V3 in one column and their elements as a matrix. 4 times V1, you can see 4 times V1 minus 2 times V2, so this minus 2 times V2 and minus 1 times V3, so this minus 1 times V3. Similarly for other two equations. Okay. I hope that you have understood how to write the equations for a given, how to write matrix for this given equation. Okay. Now from this you need to find determinant. So determinant is of this matrix. Okay. If you solve, you will be getting delta as 765. I hope that you all know how to solve determinants because this has already been taught in the school. Now you need to find delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3. So what is this delta 1, delta 2, delta 3? So in this matrix you just need to make one change. So if you want to find V1, okay, if you want to find V1, so it will be delta 1 by this delta. Okay. So first you need to find this delta 1. Okay. So to find delta 1, what you have to do, you just need to replace this first column. Okay. You just need to replace this first column by this value. Okay. The equal to terms which you get, that is constant values, are replaced by this in the first column. Okay. So you just need to bring this right hand side values in the first column. So see, minus 24, 0, 180 is kept in the first column. This much part is kept unchanged. Okay. This much part is unchanged. So what is changed? Change is over here. Okay. Change is over here. What change is done? Change done is that you have brought the right hand side constant values in the first column. That will give us delta 1. Similarly for delta 2, what is done? This constant term is now brought in the second column and everything else is same. So this term and this term will be same. Okay. Again I am repeating. When you solve for delta 2, what will be same? First and third row will be same, and as it is 2, so second column will change. Second column is replaced by this over here. Okay. Similarly for delta 3, and you need to find determinant, so you get this value from determinant. Similarly for delta 3, what will be there? So in delta 3, what will happen? So let me erase this much part. So in delta 3, what will happen is that these two terms will be same. Now only third column is changed from minus 24,0 to 180, minus this 180 is brought in the third column. So you can see over here third column delta 3 is found by using the determinant where third column is changed. Now once you find delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, you have to just divide these values with the determinant of the original matrix. That will give us V1, V2 and V3. Okay. So we have found V1, V2 and V3, and if you see the original circuit, we were to find the voltage across 5 ohms. So to find voltage across 5 ohms, we must know V2 and we must also know V3. Yes or no? And to find the current in 12 volts, we should know V1 also. So that's why we found all the elements. Okay. So now what is done to find voltage across 5 ohms? Voltage across 5 ohms is difference of the two voltages. So V2 and V3 difference will give me this. Okay. Now this minus sign is because if you check the circuit over here 5 ohms is written. If we write this as in this way, then we have to write this in this way only. Okay. Because V2 is connected to positive and V3 is connected to negative. If this was opposite direction, then V3 minus V2 would be the case and you would get this as positive answer. Next, that question was asked is current in 12 volt source. So current in 12 volt source is V1 minus 12 divided by 4. So you will get this much as the value 0.3525. Now I would suggest you that you solve this numerical by your own again and check where you make the mistake, because mistakes will make you better and you will be able to achieve correct answers during the actual examination. So this is the final example of KCL and KVL, that is you need to solve this circuit using mesh analysis and you need to find the current through 10 volt battery. Okay, you need to find the current through 12 volt battery. So for this circuit which is shown in figure, you need to find this by using a mesh analysis. Okay, so let us solve. So over here what is done is that we need to find current through this 10 volt battery. Okay, you need to find current through this 10 volt battery. So how can it be done? You have to take one loop over here, second loop over here. Okay, only two loops is enough because this 1 ampere will be flowing here. Okay, so this 1 ampere will be flowing here. So now what will be the equation? So suppose I give this as equation. This is this current which is flowing here is I2 and current which is flowing here is I1. Okay. Now let us solve this circuit. Okay, let us solve this circuit. I am removing this. Okay, so let me take the pen and let us try to solve this. So we know that this is resistance, so it will be dropped. So minus 2 times I2, minus 2 times I2. Okay, minus 2 times I2 minus 1 times I2. So it will be minus I2. Okay, minus I2, and this over here minus 2 times bracket in bracket I2, and in this I1 is also flowing, but you see here I2 is flowing downwards and here I1 is flowing upwards, so it means I2 minus I1 because I1 is flowing in opposite direction to that of I2. So this will be equals to 0. So if you simplify this, what will be the equation? It will be minus 5 times I2 plus 2 times I1, that will be equals to 0. So this you can give as equation number 1. Okay, this will be equation number 1. Now in this loop, okay, so you can write this as loop 1. Okay, this is your loop 1. Similarly you can solve for loop 2. So what will be loop 2? So loop 2 is this one. So let us solve. We will start from this 2 ohm resistance. So negative sign first of all because of drop across resistance, so minus 2 times. Now when we solve loop 1, I1 will be considered as more positive. Okay, I1 is taken as reference, not positive. I1 is taken as reference. So I1 and I2 is flowing in opposite to that of I1. So I1 minus I2. Okay, so this is the change we should know. Minus 2 times I1 minus I2. Over here 1 ohm, so minus I1, okay, I1 I am not mentioning, so minus I1, then current is leaving from positive terminal, so plus 10, and this will be equal to 0. So if you solve this, you will get minus 3I1 plus 2I2, and this will be equals to minus 10. Okay, so you have this equation, which is second equation. Now you have two unknown variables I1 and I2, and you have two equations, so you can solve this. Now you can find I1 and I2. Once you find I1 and I2, I think you should be able, if you get the value of I1, then your numerical is solved, because you need to find the current through this 10 volt battery. Okay. Now suppose if this same circuit, if it was told that obtain only the current, okay, if I remove this much portion, okay, if it is told that you just need to find the current through this 10 volt battery, so what is the easiest way? The easiest method I have shown here. So what you can do? Source transformation, okay, as I have mentioned you. So 1 ampere, it is connected in parallel with this 2 ohm. So whenever current source is in parallel, it can be replaced with voltage source in series, but that voltage value will be current times resistance. So it will be 1 ampere into 2 ohms, so it will be 2 volts, and this resistance which is in parallel will come in series. Okay, that will be the only change. Okay, so continue. So this was not there. Okay, you are told just to find the current. So this is the simplest method. So this 2 volt will come in series with 2 ohms, and that is connected in series with this 1 ohm. Okay, so and then the whole circuit remains same, and you need to find this current. Okay, so I am leaving untouched that much part, other all part I am solving. So if you see that this portion is remaining same in all the cases. Okay, I am taking that as no changes will be there in that much portion. Now this 2 ohms is in series with 1 ohm, so you will be getting 3 ohms, and that 3 ohm is in series with 2 volt voltage source. Now what I am doing is that, so it means that there will be a resistance that will be of 3 ohms. Okay, there will be a resistance that will be of 3 ohms. Now voltage source, whenever it is in series with the resistance, voltage source when it is series with resistance, then it can be replaced by a current source in parallel with resistance. I have done the same thing over here. So what I am doing is that this 2 volt is now voltage source is converted to current source. Okay, 2 volt source is converted to current source. So how I am calculating this current value? It is V by R. So 2 volt divided by 3 ohm resistor. So it will be 2 by 3, and this equivalent 3 will be now in parallel. And in parallel we already have this 2 ohms. Okay, so 3 ohms and 2 ohms are now in parallel. Now we know the equivalent of 3 ohm and 2 ohm. Okay, so from here it is, so how is the path which I have followed here is that from here you will have to go here, from here you have to go over here. Okay, now from here what will happen? 3 ohm and 2 ohm are in parallel, so it will be product of two resistance, that is 6, and addition of those two resistance will be in denominator, so 6 by 5. Okay, so now what will happen? If current source is in parallel with the resistance, then it will be replaced by voltage source in series. So this value voltage will be got from product of this current and this current source and this resistance. So it will be 2 by 3 multiplied by 6 by 5, that will give you 4 by 5. And this equivalent resistance which was in parallel will come in series. Okay, it will come in series. So now 4 by 5, 6 by 5, 1 and 10. So this circuit is very simple. You just need to make one loop and you get the answer. Okay. So you check if by mesh analysis, if by using mesh analysis and by using this, are the answers coming same? Okay, the answer should match. Okay. So I hope that till this much part everything is clear for solving a circuit which have KCL, KVL, superposition will be studying, but other than that, if you have any doubt like KCL, KVL, node analysis, source transformation, then those type of circuits could now be solved by these examples which I have explained you. In next topic we will be studying superposition theorem. Thank you.